Dear students, this is the second video on the process of translation. Now, in the first video, we discussed was the two steps of translation. First, activation of the amino acid, and the second was charging of the tRNA. Both these steps were catalyzed by the same enzyme, that is amino acyl tRNA synthase, in which in the first step the amino acids were activated with the help of ATP, and then that activated amino acid was then transferred to its specific tRNA. Now the third step, that is initiation. So now before we go into the details of initiation, you know that it occurs in three basic steps. There are three basic steps for initiation. You must remember: first, binding of the mRNA to the smaller subunit. Second, binding of the initiator tRNA at the P site. Third step, that is binding of the larger subunit with the smaller subunit. Now you know when protein synthesis is not occurring, both the subunits are separate. So initiation begins with binding of the mRNA with the smaller subunit of the ribosomes. For this binding, there certain initiation factors are needed, which in prokaryotes are three. IF standing for initiation factor, IF1, IF2 and IF3. In eukaryotes, there are at least 9 initiation factors, and how you write it with a small letter E in front of IF, showing that it is in eukaryotes. So EIF plural form S. Now in prokaryotes, the initiation factor IF1 and IF3 bind to the small ribosomal subunit, and then the mRNA, near the 5' end of the mRNA, there is a sequence before the start codon that is called as the leader sequence or the Shine-Dalgarno sequence. And this sequence, this leader sequence or the Shine-Dalgarno sequence, will bind with the smaller subunit. Obviously, binding will be between the mRNA and the 16S, which is part of the small subunit ribosomal RNA, and binding will be in such a way between mRNA and the smaller subunit so that the start codon AUG is placed at the P site. But in eukaryotes, the smaller subunit binds to the 5' cap of the mRNA and moves along the mRNA till it reaches to the start codon, that is AUG. Now, in the next step, what I said, binding of the initiator tRNA at the P site. So, the initiator tRNA, what it is going to carry will be the amino acid, that is methionine or the methanoyl tRNA. And this initiator tRNA in prokaryotes will be formilated. That means there will be a formyl group attached to the NH2, the functional group of the amino acid of the methionine. So F-met tRNA, you write it down. But formylation does not occur in eukaryotes. And this initiator tRNA will bind to the initiation codon AUG at the P site. For this, it requires the help of another elongation factor IF2 and energy from GTP. And in the third step, the larger subunit, that is the 50S in prokaryotes, will join with the smaller subunit. And at the same time, GTP, which was associated with initiation factor IF2, will get hydrolyzed into GDP and inorganic phosphate, which will be released from the complex. And all the three initiation factors, that is IF1, IF2 and IF3, will leave the ribosome. So at the end of these three steps, what will be produced? A functional ribosome 70S, and that is called as the initiation complex, and that is going to contain the messenger RNA and F-met tRNA in case of prokaryotes. Now in this diagram, we are showing initiation in prokaryotes. So these are the two subunits, 50S and 30S, separate when protein synthesis is not occurring. 30S becomes associated with two initiation factors IF1 and IF3. IF1 will prevent the tRNA from binding at the A site, and IF3 will stabilize the 30S subunit and prevent the binding of the larger subunit with the smaller subunit. Now, this 30S associated with two initiation factors will bind to the messenger RNA. Here in the red is the leader sequence before the start codon AUG, which is also called as Shine-Dalgarno sequence. So you are having here in this figure binding of 30S to the messenger RNA, binding between the leader sequence or the Shine-Dalgarno sequence and the ribosomal RNA, and 30S which ribosomal RNA, 16S ribosomal RNA. So binding will be between messenger RNA leader sequence and 16S rRNA of the smaller subunit. And obviously mRNA is 5' direction, and this ribosomal RNA will be from 3' to 5' direction. This is the initiator tRNA in case of prokaryotes, which will be formilated F-MET, and anticodon will be UAC. This will get attached with the second initiation factor IF2 and GTP, and this whole complex tRNA, initiator tRNA, GTP and IF2 will help in binding the initiator tRNA at the P site. This is the P site where the start codon is placed. GTP will get hydrolyzed into GDP and inorganic phosphate, and this is going to leave the ribosome. The three initiation factors will get detached from the ribosome, and at the end of this process you're going to have the larger subunit binding with the smaller subunit, forming a complete ribosome 70S. So here at the end of it you have the initiator tRNA attached to the start codon AUG at the P site, and this initiation complex consists of mRNA with the initiator tRNA attached at the P site. But slight difference in the initiation in case of eukaryotes. So in case of eukaryotes, the initiator tRNA, which is not formilated, will get attached to the smaller subunit, and this is going to get attached to the 5' cap in case of the mRNA in case of the eukaryotes, and then it's going to move along this mRNA searching for the start codon, and when it reaches, so it's going to scan the mRNA to find the start codon, and when it reaches to the start codon, the anticodon of the initiator tRNA will bind to the start codon AUG, and then in the last step the larger subunit will bind with the smaller subunit, forming an initiation complex. So that is all in this video. Thank you, and next video we are going to talk about is the next step, that is elongation and termination.